Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Dennis Johnson. I am a Senior Vice President of Programs and Partnerships here at HBCU 20 by 20 in the application. And I have the wonderful duty of hosting an amazing panel discussion today. So this conversation is going to be centered around an amazing biotechnology company called Amgen. So Amgen is one of the world's leading biotechnology companies. Amgen is a value-based company deeply rooted in science and innovation. Their goal is to transform new ideas and discoveries into medicines for patients with serious illnesses. And the cool thing about this is that we have some wonderful folks at Amgen who are going to be speaking today about diversity and inclusion and a bunch of other cool things. So to start off this panel, I'm going to start off with this question. Can those, Ines, Tanya, Delmar, and Kharissa, just specifically talk to me about your role at Amgen and basically what it is you do there? We're going to start with you, Ines.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. So my name is Ines Schweda. I am leading one of Operations Talent program. It's called Emerging Talent Rotational Program, and it's actually geared at young professionals. The purpose of this program is to create breadth early on. And when I mean breadth, so the title already says it, right? It's a rotational program. So participants have the opportunity to see 3 different sub-functions of operations during the time they are enrolled in the program. And the rotational work is actually the heart piece of the program. And then it's we have many different components that are also offered to all participants, like mentorship, like development trainings, senior leadership exposure, and so on. So my job is actually to manage the program globally, plus then also to actually find talent that are interested in such a program.
Thank you, Ines. My name is Tanya Towns, and I get the privilege to own our Operations North America external engagement and partnerships. So for our universities, so looking at for interns, co-ops, postdocs, examples could be our HBCU 2020 program that we have with the application in HBCU 2020. Also, our professional partnerships, our postdoc or society, SMDP or ICDP programs, as well as our operations target universities. So get to partner and go externally for our organization and look for that, emerging early career talent or professional talent, and introduce Amgen. So that's my role within the organization and within our talent and culture team within operations.
Thanks, Tanya. Hi, my name is Delmar Visor. I am a key account manager in our respiratory division. I promote Tezspire, which is a biologic product on the market today. What we do in our role is we actually handle the buy and bill contracting for Tezspire with our clinic contracts with our customers who are in the clinic space. We offer different types of tiers and rebates for our customers to be able to have those patients who are appropriate for Tezspire to be able to inject in the office. We also call on alternate sites of care, infusion centers, and then we also partner with the integrated delivery network systems, hospitals in our respective geographies. And then we also partner with our sales professionals as well out in the field, also our medical science liaisons, and then our field reimbursement specialists as well to promote our respiratory product with Tezspire.
My name is, thank you, Delmar. My name is Kharissa Simms. I am the Diversity, Inclusion, Belonging Talent Scout and supporting our operations, external events and engagements and partnerships. My role is to get you all in front of opportunities here at Amgen and support you throughout that process. Also to be, a support system, from a career advancement, professional development standpoint, and being that bridge between you and opportunities here at Amgen. How I support the overall team. Tanya is my direct manager, and we partner with HBCU 20 by 20 to essentially make sure that everything is running smoothly, and that, you know, we can make sure that everyone that is interested in opportunities at Amgen, you know, gets in front of the right people at the right time.
Thank you so much for answering that, everyone. All right, pause, editor's cut. All right, I'm going to let Alicia in. Alicia just tried to get into the meeting, so I'm going to let her in. Okay, we're going to edit all this out, but I didn't want to keep her waiting. But I wanted to give Kharissa the opportunity to answer her.
Thank you.
Hi, Alicia. Can you hear us? Hi, Alicia.
Hi, I made it. Now I got to figure out which camera I'm supposed to look in here.
Okay, hold on. We got Frank too. Everybody's coming now. Okay, let me give it a couple. Okay, hold on.
Since we're editing this out, sorry, Alicia, I didn't see we were doing our first introductions. So I wasn't looking in Teams, so I missed your call to make sure you
That's
can get in.
okay. No worries. I thought I'll get in there some way or another.
Well, I saw you log in like a minute ago, but I think you logged in when Delmar was talking, so I was like, okay, she don't have to wait. Okay.
That's okay.
Right.
No problem.
No problem. Hi,
Thanks for
Frank.
having me.
No problem. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Frank. Can you hear us?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yes, I can hear you great.
All right, perfect. So we just got done with question number 1. So I'm just go to question number 2. So Alicia, I don't have you on here as in participating. On you're not as one of the panelists.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you turn your video off if you don't mind, because when we're recording, it's gonna capture those with their videos on.
You're more
Okay.
than welcome to be a panelist.
Yes,
Got a
yes.
great role.
If
However you want me, I'm here in any capacity you like.
well, I would say you got in at a good time. We are at the beginning.
Perfect.
All right. So is that a yes or no, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Perfect. So all right. So Alicia, do you have the panel questions?
I do not.
Okay. Hold on.
You want me to forward that
Yes.
email?
That would be perfect. And what we're going to do is, Alicia, I'm going to have you answer the first question. And so when we edit it, I'll just plug you in with everyone else. And then we'll start overall and just start with the second one. So
There we
your
go.
time was perfect.
Just sent it.
All right. And the first question, Alicia, was just tell me about your current role at Amgen and how you got there.
Sure. So my current
No,
role.
I want you to wait. I want you to wait till you actually get the panel questions. That way, because right after you answer that question, we're going to move into question 2.
Okay, I've got the questions.
Okay,
Thanks,
perfect.
Ines.
So what we're doing, Alicia, is that because it's 5 of you now, we're not going to have each person answer each question. It'll be 50 questions. So what is I'm going to ask the question and put it out there, and our goal is for 2 or 3 of you all to answer it. Okay. All right. So now, Alicia, you have the wonderful stage to answer. Can you tell me about your current role at Amgen and how you got there?
Sure. So, hi, everyone. Alicia Urutia. My current role at Amgen is a senior manager in our talent acquisition organization, which is part of human resources. And my core responsibility is our early career and our specialty talent programs. That includes our internship, co-op, and college hire programs, as well as our veteran fellowship program and our recently launched apprenticeship programs. And how I got here because I was interested in the opportunity in talent acquisition to bring this talent into our company. So looking at the fresh perspectives. I've been at the company for 18 years though overall.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And this question is to everyone. Amgen is seen as a power player, a game changer in the biotechnology industry. What skills are needed to succeed at a company like Amgen?
I think I'll start off and jump on in. I'd say first and foremost, we're very collaborative. So the ability to collaborate and seek key stakeholders and input is crucial. It is actually one of our attributes that we interview on. And also it's important within our culture. It's not delivering results, but how you deliver results, right? So we do look at that as well. We all have a passion and we ground in to serve our patients. It is something I will say that is unique that I really love about our organization. You can ask anyone within our organization, regardless of function, and they can tell you what they're doing and how they serve our patients. And the company values that. And over the last few years, we've even, reinforced that in having mission weeks where we get to hear from our patients. So it's not just, I always say, the education, but it's the passion behind the education. That's so important for us. We have a high percentage of our staff that give back to the community and that actually volunteer, and Amgen supports that, and even providing paid hours to volunteer. So I would say when you look at, what do we look for? I think there's some basic qualifications that we're going to look for by the role. We want to see if you're a leader, if you have those skills, and if a particular role requires a particular degree, that you have this. But there's several times where you have experience, and that's as valued just as strongly, with the supporting undergraduate or supporting education that you have gathered. But it's more important on who you are as an individual and that ability to contribute into our organization. Did I miss anything, y'all?
No, I think you answered that perfectly. But Tanya, can you talk more about the skill? I know during the Amgen HBCU 20x20 fellowship, we saw the importance of you stressing for the fellows to have skill. They're going to have their degrees, but the skill can get them even farther. Can you talk more about that?
Oh yeah. In our fellowship, first thing we say, right, we look for people who already have skills. So I'm like, and it doesn't have to be industry skills. We say, did you stand up and be a leader within your college, organization, or your fraternity, sorority, or the nonprofit? Like, how have you stepped into that leadership role, right? Because you're going to be stepping into this opportunity in a leadership role. So we want to see that you have that behavior. And then we also want to see, like, in your area, where you have a passion and study, are you actively seeking for internships or educational opportunities to apply that and build those skills? I am a skills first individual. I've rotated to almost all areas within our Amgen organization. I've missed GCO so far, but when I say that that's our focus within Amgen, those skills allow you that mobility, right? And that's so important that at an individual level, like, you've taken that forethought. Yes, you have to sit in class to get the grade, but what are you doing with the knowledge that's being provided with you? How are you reaching back out? How are you partnering, either with HBCU 2020? Are you helping someone? If you've got a great resume, are you helping somebody else create one or reviewing one?
And maybe to add on that, so I obviously agree with everything Tanya just shared, but I think it's so important that we find people who want to work with us, with Amgen, and who take initiative, right? So, for example, Amgen has so much to offer in the learning space, right? In the training, what we offer. But you, as an individual, you have to basically take that opportunity and do something with it. You own your career here, right? Everything is basically available, but then it's up to you what you make out of that.
Yeah, and I would just add on to what Tanya and Ines has shared, is just paying attention to detail, right? And just making sure that you present with great communication skills, and it's all about having that confidence in how you show up, right? So showing up with great interpersonal skills, making sure that we're looking for someone who's very analytical and has that ability to problem solve, right? So what we do each and every day matters, and so having those skills to problem solve is crucial in the work that we do.
Thank you. Thank you. I know from working with you all, one thing I've noticed, when it comes to this partnership at Amgen overall is that I'm always learning. I'm like, okay, they do this. Okay, they do that. Wow, they're even deeper than I thought, specifically in that industry. With this being said, like in what ways is Amgen like shaping the future? Because I feel like I'm always learning because you all are always growing.
Wow. Let me think through that.
Yeah.
Oh, Alicia, you're going.
No, I'm thinking too.
Okay.
It's a great question.
It's a great question. I will say is that, Amgen is grounded in their therapeutic areas. And we look at how are we shaping our future, we are focused on unmet needs, serious illnesses. And we're shaping the future by applying our innovation there in those spaces, extending quality of life, actually in a few providing an opportunity where if it's an appropriate match, where one of our products can be part of the solution to bring you into remission, it's when I look at that shaping that future, it's not just at an individual, it's at a personal level. And we get to see that at a patient level when they bring us back their stories and the impact to their life. The second is that I don't think people realize how strong our Amgen Foundation is, right? So we're looking at how do we save at an individual, but we have our nonprofit arm that focuses on educational. A lot of the material that goes in Khan Academy, our scientists are providing, we have resources and programs that meet students in high school. We provide, lab equipment, training for the teachers, right, in all aspects. So I think when we're looking at where are we shaping future, we're hoping to harness and bring the insights and innovative of the expertise of the youth as the next scientists and innovators. We have a strong focus there. We have a strong focus on the community aspect through our Amgen Foundation and at an individual aspect for the current scientists who are striving to innovate and bring new medicines to the field for unmet needs. That's our niche, right? So it's unmet needs. Tell me what's there.
And I'd add to that, Tanya, really looking, and you mentioned the innovation, where we're looking at, how technology is really embedding into all aspects of the work that we do at Amgen. AI, I know that's going to be hot on a lot of these students' minds. Where does that fit? And historically, you think that's going to fit in just the technology space, but how do we bring that technology into the various parts of our business is huge. And that's, you really touched it, Tanya, the youth, it's the future. Hashtag next gen of Amgen. I'm just going to say it. That's our, that is the future, the next generation.
Thank you. During the introductions, I heard Alicia say she was with Amgen for 18 years. I heard like the numbers that you all were throwing out there are, I want to say, a bit foreign during my generation. You hear me? And probably going to be even more like foreign for those who are coming up. And I say this because, the relationship between company and employee looks different. However, it seems that Amgen is getting it right because y'all have been there for a while. Can you all talk about like what does it mean for Amgen to get it right? Like what makes you proud to be there so long? What makes you proud to work for Amgen?
Serving patients. That's been mine for 18 years. I still have the Post-it sitting on my laptop that said, "What did you do today for patients?"
For me, it's also very important, right, to work for a company where I can see myself, where I can understand the purpose even of the company, and where I have some personal stories or attachments to that, right? So that's the most critical for me, right? And then plus, I would say it's really the culture here. And when I say culture, I really mean my colleagues, right? So I feel that people do care about me, on a personal level, right? And I have never stayed as long for a company. So I work now here 8.5 years. And that's really the longest I have been with one company. And that is really the difference for me. So the purpose and the people and that feeling that I am cared about.
Yeah, and just to add to that, even before I came to Amgen, I heard about the culture, right, in terms of just an awesome place to work here at Amgen. But for me, it's the patients and the people, right? We just a couple of weeks ago had Missions Week, right, and renewed sense of purpose of just hearing those patient testimonials, right, in terms of what we do each and every day to serve those patients, and just being a part of that is very inspiring. And just to be able to be a part of such a great organization, to be able to carry that mission through each and every day is really important. And I'm really glad to be a part of this organization.
Yeah, and I'll just add on to that. I think one of the important factors, and I am probably the newest Amgenite on the call, but something that I've noticed that is unique from other companies that I've worked at about Amgen is there are direct pathways for growth opportunities here at Amgen, and ways to impact other teams and ways to work cross-functionally that lead to further, professional and career development. And really, I think that's also why a lot of the folks on this call, or just from conversations that I've had, have stuck around at Amgen, is because they've been provided pathways and opportunities and the voice to, try new things in this space, and to, experience what growth looks like at one company, and to experience, team structures and, different avenues of the work that is happening, which ultimately, is impacting lives, saving lives. And, that's one of the reasons why I really, am honored to be here at Amgen. And one of the reasons why I think, future generation of Amgen, I think that's one of the most beautiful aspects of the work that we do here, and the folks that are on this call.
Thank you, Kharissa. So it looks like you provide fresh eyes to a global company. Can you talk about, like, let's say if I'm a candidate and I'm trying to get into Amgen, right? What if I have no experience in the biotechnology industry? How will I stand as a candidate? How do I get in within the company, and also how do I sustain?
Absolutely. So here at Amgen, we're a skills first organization in some areas, and we're definitely working through ways that we can, make those opportunities from an external perspective be more sort of attractive, applicable, and really seeing where we can, open up that opportunity to, a wider array of folks that have those skills, but maybe don't have the formal title, have those areas where, those areas of interest, from a hiring perspective, or from a, career perspective, but don't necessarily have, all the experiences that, come with that role. And, I think everyone on this call can agree, when you apply to a role, there's going to be some things that need to be learned on the job. There's going to be some on the job experiences that you won't come into the role having initially, but, the expectation is that you have, again, as Alicia mentioned earlier, that growth mindset. One of the biggest recommendations that I have just as a talent professional is making sure that you've highlighted clearly those skills that you have that apply to the role that you're wanting to have. So essentially what that means is creating a resume that speaks to the job that you want, not the job that you have, with also being, honest and accurate on everything, but really drawing those connections. If you're in an industry that you're not necessarily, super psyched about, or at a company, or in a role that you're not super feeling aligned to, but you have a lot of the skills that maybe apply in another area, making sure that you've clearly communicated those on your resume, because as a recruiter, as a hiring manager, we don't know what we don't know, but if you can really create that picture, if you can really tell that story through your resume, that's going to be your first step to, really building that business case, building that, sort of portfolio for yourself, that interim, primary, introduction into this new newfound interests or new, career direction.
Thank you for that. So I look at you all as not as the first line of defense, but the first line of engagement when it comes to just, getting hired or even being interested in Amgen. And, Delmar, I want can you speak more about what Kharissa talked about just in reference to how can I get in? How can I sustain? I know yours is a little bit outside of what we think of biotechnology.
Yeah, I would say just being curious, right? Open to learning, growth mindset, as Kharissa had mentioned, and just wanting to make sure, hopefully, that they've done some internships or have asked a family member or a friend who's had some experience, whether it's in the role or in the industry, and even possibly reaching out to look at maybe doing like some shadow days or anything like that. I think just to, really understand what you can potentially get yourself involved with can really help aid into your efforts to really kind of help you really, show yourself in terms of, creating a valuable asset, meaning to the organization as a whole.
Thank you. Did anyone else want to speak on this topic? All right. Editor's cut. We're going to pause. Alicia, I'm sorry I didn't say this at the beginning. We're going to send you the Zoom background.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I do. Yeah, you've probably seen people.
Yeah,
I'm
after the
on
fourth
site.
question, I was like, I should have said that at the beginning, but
That's
I
okay.
didn't have this stuff. So no worries. I
That's
think
okay.
Karissa's sending it to you right now. Okay.
You guys get firsthand what it looks like here at the office.
Yeah. Hey.
I can't move this camera. I'm in a focus booth. My friends know what that is.
Yeah.
You're probably 2 meters away
scented.
from myself, Alicia.
Are you here?
I think I saw you before, but I was in a hurry.
Yeah.
And
I just sent it.
go ahead. I'm sorry, Tanya.
Oh no, I'm just saying I sent the background, so she'll have an opportunity.
Okay, perfect.
Oops,
As
I'm
we
muted. Sorry.
No, so I know our next question is do you feel supported as a professional by Amgen to grow? Did any of you all want to start that off? That way I could just call off your name.
I'll start.
I'm making my background, so put me last.
All right, no, we're gonna cut it back on once your background is up. So anybody who needs some water or anything, feel free. We're halfway through. I think this is going great, you all.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. So during this question number 6, one of the things we do to get people to watch these videos is we put in other words, hey, some things the answers you all would give during number 6, we would use it as like a raffle ticket to offer prizes and stuff. So at the end, and when we push this out, I'm going to ask them, hey, Tanya or Kharissa may have said this, and what was the answer to this? So that question, because we're right there in the middle. So I'm going to use number 6. That way they can't say, I watched the first 5 minutes and I know the answer. No, you need to get get in there, get the nitty gritty to be able to find out. So I just want to put that out there. So whatever you all say, that's what I will use as a part of the raffle. All right. Any luck on that background, Alicia?
I'm getting there. Sorry. I haven't been in Zoom to put a background in, but please
No
don't let me
problem.
hold anything up.
No problem. If you go to video
and
you go to choose virtual background, do you see it?
It's not giving me it's giving me either video filter or virtual background blur.
You're right. So don't click on blur my background. Click on choose virtual background.
I don't have that.
Oh, well, you know what? I think Tanya told me MJ use Zoom, so that's probably why.
No, but actually, Alicia, if you hover over your own picture on the monitor with your mouse, do you see 3 little dots popping up?
Yep, and I'm in the 3 dots.
Yeah, click on those. And then go to
choose virtual background.
Choose virtual background. And then there is a little plus next to virtual backgrounds.
So okay.
Add image or video.
There's a plus next to virtual backgrounds.
Click on that. And then it should give you the option add image. And from there you can upload from your device.
That's not it.
No, that's not it. It's pretty cool though. I would say that. They're gonna be like, hold on, MJ. They're gonna think skeletons. Woo.
We have a Halloween party coming up, so we all had to do that. Give me 1 second. Huh. Bear with me. It's coming.
All right, so I just know we have I know Delmar's gonna take number 6. Who wants to start off number 7? What opportunities are currently available at Amgen?
I'm fine
Okay.
with that. Alicia, I think, or Kharissa might be a little bit more relevant, but
Okay.
I can
So what
take that.
is
Do you want us all to answer number 6 though? Or no?
Yeah.
I was confused.
I think it would be
Yeah.
great. I think it would be great to hear from all of you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to know why should I apply, and it would be great because one of you all may be the reason why somebody's like, let me just complete this application.
Okay.
All right. All right, so we're gonna start. Background looking great, Alicia. All right, everyone.
Took a while.
All right, thank you so much. So, Delmar, can you tell me, how do you feel supported as a professional in Amgen and how you have grown into your current position?
Yes, I definitely feel supported here at Amgen. And to me, it starts with having a clear, defined plan of what you want to do and really kind of sharing that plan with, along with obviously having the necessary skill sets that you develop along the way with your supervisor. And I would encourage you to also make sure that you're setting scheduled one-on-ones with your supervisor. And not only that, but with your supervisor's direct supervisor, right? So the one level up to make sure that you guys are really discussing and making sure that it's documented on your developmental action plan. Once you continue to do that, typically after about 24 months of being in the role or so, and as long as you're performing well, you have an opportunity to show that you've demonstrated those skills and you're allowing yourself to continue to grow towards that developmental action plan that you set for yourself to get to that next level, and then making sure that you are making yourself visible to that next team that you're trying to move towards to. So there's definitely opportunity to grow. And I would just say, just make sure that you are communicating clearly and articulately in terms of what you want to do in terms of your next role. And I would even venture to say that you should be kind of looking at your next 2 roles, right? In terms of what that will take you as you continue to grow in your development here at Amgen.
Thank you. Can you talk more about the developmental action plan and how Amgen has supported your plan?
Me specifically?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So so for me, I have a passion, right, of really wanting to make sure that I help the community, help people get to where they want to go. So that's why I'm actually here tonight, like wanting to make sure that those who are interested in coming on board with Amgen, that they can hear my testimony in terms of my pathway to get here. Just making sure I stay connected, with folks, in different areas of the organization outside of just my current role. So in my respiratory division, how can I continue to just branch outside of my network? And they've given me access to be able to participate in additional conferences, go to different meetings that is outside of my day-to-day role. And so they've been extremely supportive. And I've got a lot of feedback in terms of understanding what has those skills demonstrated for me and how I can share it back with the team. And so when I attend those conferences and things like that, typically I come back and I share the key takeaways with our team as a whole.
Thank you so much. Did anyone want to add on?
Yeah, I can share. Oh, Tanya, you go.
No, go ahead,
Um,
Ines.
Yeah, please go first.
Yeah, I can share. So we have also a tool or a platform that's called the Talent Marketplace. So it's an enterprise solution where people can post projects, and then interested staff members can basically apply and take part in projects in areas they want to grow or want to get experience in. So in my career development plan, I mentioned to my manager that I would like to get exposure to GCO and also grow my network in that space, so in our commercial organization. And there was actually a project in that space. So since that was part of my development planning, my manager actually then supported me in taking that particular project on in addition to my current job. And that I think is a very important part. So you are supported, right? And basically get then resources, or we can take them at the work list basically to see what could be deprioritized during the time you actually participate in an additional project so that you can make it work.
Thank you, Tanya.
I would say that I've had some great managers, but the foremost is that I always tell when I'm out discussing about Amgen with the broader, is that you interview us as we interview you, right? And in doing so, Amgen was a great match for me. I really wanted to learn more. I am that poster child of transferable skills. My background is food science, right? So more agricultural science, that's where I had prior time in industry, about 15 years. But Amgen, I like the skills first. I really enjoyed the culture. And I was able to map the skills that I had and the background experience to the other learning opportunities. And I created a career development, plan with my manager. But I also told him is when I reached out to leaders is that if you see that I can do it, I'm going to believe and I'm going to step in. And I had some great stretches in my career where I mentioned I had been in multiple functions with different disciplines. I am an Android loving, kind of agricultural in science individual, but I actually was an interim director for cybersecurity, because the skills I possessed helped, and I had a very great, strong team of subject matter expertise. Right. So, when we looked at those transferable skills that we spoke with before, also kind of in that journey, Amgen met me where I was at. I wanted to have exposure across multiple functions, that organizational savvy. I wanted to have, I like to get my hands a little dirty. So the further you go up on some areas, you get too far away and you only deal in vision. I really like to tactically execute or look at how to take a vision into a strategy and build a good plan to be managed through. So they kind of looked where I wanted to be, and in partnership with me, gave me opportunities. Did I have to knock on the door? Yes. Did I have to compete for those roles? Yes. Right. And did I have to perform in those roles? Yes, for the next opportunity. So there's some accountability that Amgen held for me as well. But I will say that, if you know where you want to go and you communicate that, you have those opportunities to go there.
Thank you, Alicia. Then Kharissa.
The one thing I would add to not only Tanya's point, but also Ines's point earlier is she mentioned mentor. So for me, I had professional and personal mentors that I leaned on to kind of say, okay, because there's sometimes you don't know what you want to do. Like you're in a role and you're successful in the role and everything's going great, but you feel a little, you need something a little different, or you want to expand and you don't know really where to do that. And your manager will support it, but how do I get to that area? Well, that's when a mentor really helped me and said, let me, networking's huge. It's an old term, but not always what you know, but who you know. So when there are opportunities, I say take advantage of that, and in a positive way. Go in and say, this is the skill I have. What can that bring to this particular opportunity? Do you have a special project? The talent marketplace that Ines mentioned. But I think Managers are 100% supportive at a company like Amgen, but our mentors and buddies that really help kind of wrap their arms around you and help you with that is huge. It's huge.
I feel like we can drop the mic on it all. I'm like, everyone covered everything that I was like, oh yeah, and then this, oh yeah, and then Alicia said it. So yes, I second everything that everyone said on the call.
Thank you. So now that we know how you all are supported at Amgen, can you tell me where I should look if I'm looking for an opportunity at Amgen? We can start with you, Tanya.
You're on mute.
There we go. AmgenCareers.com. You can go to our site, and if you're looking for internships, co-ops, fellowships, there's a subpage there for you to filter through. If you're looking for early career entry across all the functions, you can filter there. If you're not sure what you're looking for and you just have a keyword, you can put that in and it's going to filter those opportunities for you too. So you don't have to know the function, but you can look at where I might like to do this. I think that's the best place to go. We ensure that that's updated. We're transparent on the location, if it's remote, hybrid, or a particular site. And we're transparent. We have paid transparency within North America. So you're going to see it all there. So good place to go and look for opportunities. And we are all those that I mentioned, there are opportunities.
And I'll also add to that, I update the HBCU, the application .org HBCU website. I reference back to it on a weekly basis. So requisitions are also populated there. They're also shared on Handshake and 1220. So if you have login information and you're a part of those networks as well, we are actively posting there. But live in real time, obviously our career site is the best source of truth, as I like to say, because there's a lot of movement and updates with our requisitions on a daily, hourly, minutely basis. So definitely utilizing that as a resource. But I do try to also keep your direct resource as an HBCU 20 by 20 scholar as accurate as possible as well.
All right, thank you. In what ways do you see Amgen pushing the needle on diversity and inclusion? And I think this question is really important because I've had the honor of sitting back and watching the Amgen HBCU 20 by 20 biotechnology fellowship just flourish. And now we're going on our third cohort, which is going to be better than ever. And I'm just like, wow, like, you know, seeing Amgen be the bridge between the HBCU and the biotechnology community is just like, it's amazing, especially at a time like this, especially in an industry like STEM. But can you all talk more about that as well as just how you all are pushing the needle on diversity and inclusion?
Everybody waiting for me?
I mean, I was like, also I can hop on, but I was like,
no, I'm just laughing because, you know, I mentioned that's kind of my role. So we're just going to step into it. But I want to say is that it's not just my role. I think everybody at Amgen steps into that, right? We've got over 12 employee resource groups that really collaborate and ideate on our programs and evolving them. I mean, right, Delmar, they'll say they're ambassadors. They stand up. They go to the partnerships, they become mentors and coaches. So they really reach out. So it's not just an individual or a small team, it's a broader team. There might be guidance and strategy that happens at a broad level, but it really is managed and executed through all the staff. So we get grounded in about our culture, right? So this is part of who we are. You know, we believe that diversity leads to innovation. We mentioned we innovate new medicines, right? We want to serve patients. We want to collaborate. We want to create a space where you are comfortable raising your hand for confirming and most importantly, disconfirming information. Delmar, when he gave his introduction, did y'all realize how many people he has to collaborate with and reach out to and inform and engage? You know, it is crucial that we do this. And that's why it's kind of a grounding pillar. It's not just this little organization on the side. It's part of our ESG. It's part of how we do, operating reviews, business reviews. It's part of our enterprise goals that we publish externally. So when you do go to careers.amgen.com, you're going to be able to go in and look at about us, and you're going to see what we publish every year as part of our goals and our commitment, right? We really are embedding this as, if you think through, since we're talking to some few STEM people, safety, right? Compliance. Think of it that way. It's part of how we do business. It's part of how we want to have this safe space, right? So it really is integrated in, and we want to improve. Do we feel there's opportunity to improve? Yes. There's continuous improvement in all things. So we have the opportunity to continually improve here. But I'd love to say, like, it's not a standalone. It really is embedded in our culture and who we are, and our values, our leadership attributes, and that's what, as we mentioned earlier, why some of us are still here, that ability for the culture. We really look at the full employee life cycle, and we also look at the communities that we serve, and we want to represent those as well.
I'll add to that. I think, one of the strategies that we've used is there's a lot of movement in this space, and there's a lot of activity and opportunity for growth. And I think one of the most important factors that we've taken, or initiatives and strategies that we've taken here at Amgen, is being intentional and targeted in where we engage, how we engage, getting in front of the right communities at the right time, being transparent when there are opportunities to hire, being transparent with our interviewing process, having a person like me in your back pocket. It's really figuring out ways that we can position ourselves to, be in diverse spaces where we can really see an impact, where we can really be targeted, where we can really offer that support. And, for lack of a better word, put our money where our mouth is, or put our money where our mouth is, having the support from leaders as well, to ensure that, a lot of, everyone that is touching this impactful work, there's that accountability there from a leadership perspective, from, within every single fiber within the business. So it's not just, a part of the culture. Like, we actually have a strategy in place. We're actually working towards, implementing that, throughout, the entire, Amgen business. And, there's obviously always opportunities for growth. But really, that's one of the biggest ways that I've seen, my impact in the work that I do, alongside Tanya and Alicia and Ines and Delmar and Frank. It's really understanding that strategy piece and putting that action to it.
And you're exactly right, Kharissa. I mean, that accountability from the leadership perspective is huge, because I've seen that in our functional area, and we're getting a lot of buy-in. In fact, in that learning hub, in terms of that you belong, right? That journey. So we've chunked it down into those snack bites, to where I present now on a monthly basis to our teams, right? Those 8 different snack bites that we've had throughout the course of the year, and the last one being on the challenge phase, really challenging people to speak up, right, and holding people accountable to their actions and the words that we use, right. So we want to make sure that we challenge the action, not the person, right. So it's been exciting to see, and it's really enhancing our culture as a whole.
Thank you. So let's say that I don't have a Kharissa in my back pocket, and I'm not an HBCU student, and therefore I can't be a part of the HBCU 20x20 and Amgen Biotechnology Fellowship. What opportunities does Amgen give for engagement? Like, how can I be able to get in contact with you all and just learn more about the company?
Well, we do actually, Alicia hosts a university week. So if these are all the universities, so it's open to all.
Yeah, we host those every year. Every year. We're looking at potentially doing one in the spring. That would be the first time doing 2 in 1 year. But they're good. They're good. And that's an opportunity to a week-long of activities. So each day we have a different speaker, and then the end of the last week, it's open up to different groups to talk about career opportunities.
You know, at the same time, you do have access to Kharissa, but you do have access, right? I can't say it enough, is that Amgen is a mentoring and kind of coaching community. They really do raise their hand. So when you've reached out or you've partnered with somebody, we have a high percentage of that they respond. So if you met someone at a conference, or you met us at a webinar, when we give you our contact, we don't give that lightly. If you get it right. So respond. So you do have access to us. We have joining our community. We have community links where if you click on those community links or QR codes, and you just say, hey, I have an interest. You haven't applied to anything, but you have an interest in our company. As there's opportunities for employment, or if we're having these events that are happening virtually, you know, you receive an email, right? So you're invited in, like you said, this was your interest, this was your area of focus. Here's an opportunity for you to apply if it's a good time and a match, right? So we're giving you these opportunities to kind of opt in. You can always opt out if it's a little overwhelming, but you know, you do not have to be at an HBCU, right? That's one of the things that we're looking for. This is one of our intentional. We find that we had an opportunity to have more participation, right, amongst the HBCUs and have more visibility about our programs. This is an intentional, you know, opportunity that we want to have more exposure of all these opportunities within HBCU 2020. You do not have to be in an HBCU to get this access, right? What you do have to do is actually take the steps and go to our career page, or take the steps and follow up. When we say follow up with us and we give you a link, you have to join the community. Look on, since we're at HBCU 2020, we post these, right? Anybody can belong on it. Go to the post, right? There are some actions that you have to hold yourself accountable for, but we'll take that. Once you take that step, right, we're going to communicate out to you.
Yeah. And I'll just add to that, network. You know, LinkedIn is free to some extent. And you know, I am always open to connecting with folks via LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure it's available to Dr. Johnson, and he's always welcome to share that across the community. But you know, I've said this many times, and I truly believe it with every fiber. It's truly why I am in the role that I am, and in, you know, where I am in life, was because of the network that I had and the people that I connected with. And as my mom once says, closed mouths don't get fed. We don't know what we don't know, you know, and making sure that you're, you know, putting yourself in front of the right people. And maybe that person doesn't have the right opportunity for you, or maybe that's not the right connection, but they can connect you to the right person. So just being, you know, not being shy about, you know, reaching out, knowing how to reach out, you know, really focusing on building that network as much as, you know, applying to opportunities. I will arguably say the two of them are vital to career development and, you know, job opportunities.
Thank you so much. Are the rest of you on LinkedIn? If someone is reviewing this video and would like to get in contact with you?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Before we leave, I do have one last question I want to ask. If you could leave the viewer with one word when it comes to your overall experience at Amgen, what would that be?
I'm going to start with passion.
Yeah. Dang it.
So I want to go first.
I continue with impact.
Commitment.
You said one word, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to find it all in one word. Okay. I'll say intentionality.
Inspire.
Drop the mic, Delmar.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So thank you all for today. I think that this was an amazing presentation that offers some insight that you may not be able to find on just the general Amgen website. I think that I hope and encourage everyone to reach out today's panelists. And you can even reach out to HBCU 20 by 20 as well. We have no problem with putting you into contact with someone from the Amgen team. Again, this is amazing. And presentations like this really, really continue to make sure that that bridge is there, that bridge is stable, and that, you know, more diversity can come to a company like Amgen. Thank you all. But before we go, engagement is key on these videos. So at the beginning, Ines and Tanya mentioned how long they worked at Amgen. They mentioned the years. So if you all can email info at hbcu20x20.org with the amount of years Ines and Tanya said they worked at Amgen. And if it's the correct number, we will send you a $25 gift card. Also, now this is another question. Also, Delmar talked about a plan. Ooh, I almost said it. I almost said the answer. Now, in this plan, he mentioned an action plan that was supported by Amgen. Can you tell us the name of that specific action plan that he mentioned? Also, email the answer to that question to info at hbcu20x20.org, and we will have a special gift for you. Thank you all so much for listening to the first line of engagement at Amgen, and thank you all so much for your support. We really, really appreciate this. And do not forget, you can always apply. The link to the careers at Amgen will be posted within this video. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.